back again for episode 26. That's right, a whole new week. This is the start of the 6th week. We have had 5 complete Monday through Fridays. Can't believe it. I will never not be so proud of that. But anyway, today is how it's going so far. Well, what are you talking about, Kara? Well, something actually very specific, and I'm talking about this right here. I know that we talked about this a couple times because I can't help it, okay? I can't help but be happy that this is actually going, okay? Because when I said it in my mind all those weeks ago, I thought, okay, this is going to be different. Why is it going to be different? Because this is the 3rd time, not once, not twice, but thrice times I have started this fucking idea to do this here, this podcast. Now, I thought once upon a time, because this has been over a couple years, this is the 3rd time this is gone. Now, I have either let life get in the way, I've, felt like I was doing something wrong. It doesn't matter what it was that actually stopped me. The point is, I really went all in and I didn't deliver. That's it. I didn't deliver. I went in saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do 1 to 2 episodes a week, every day on this day, blue. And I just didn't follow through. I just didn't. Whether it was something that came up on one of those days, or I fell short, or I just simply forgot, or just didn't fucking feel like it. It doesn't matter. Twice I've started this adventure, and twice it's died and drifted into nothingness. So I'm very happy. When I get on here and I say what episode it is and everything else, I know it's annoying. I get that. But you have no idea for me. And this mind up here, to stay on track like that is amazing. This might as well be one of my kids. I'm actually dedicated and driven. It's good. This is good. Now, why is it important to keep going towards something in life, even when it's hard or you feel like it's going nowhere? That is something that I have asked myself time and time again as a serial hobby-tunist. I have no idea. I have a lot of fucking hobbies, okay? I have a lot of fucking hobbies. And as my main hobby cheerleader, my mother would say that this is actually going very, very well because she's tuned in the other 2 times. And she was like, yeah, this is great. And still, it didn't make it. So, why is it important to keep going? Now, I did say this before and I will say this again. I went into this with a completely different mindset. The first 2 times, I had all these grand ideas and these awesome episode things. The first time I did it, it was basically umbrellaed with a mom group that I created, okay? It's called Tired Moms Anonymous. And I thought, okay, well, we'll just branch off of that. And there's already a group, there's already a base, and I'll just go that way with it. Well, when I started, yes, some things were things that needed to be said or whatever, but then it's now I'm kind of putting myself in this little box of just talking about mom stuff. Even though moms don't just, want to hear about mom stuff, I feel like if somebody came looking for a mom group podcast or whatever, and then they tune in and I'm talking about, Stranger Things or what I watch true crime wise or what the fuck, you know what I mean? Different things, they might be okay, so you're so outside of your niche, and I would be. And so then I started thinking yes, I could always change the name, change the niche, change the genre, and just keep kind of the base, you know what I mean? Keep the following, keep the episodes and all that stuff, and it's it's not really how it's supposed to go. So eventually it just kind of floated away and off it went. The second time I tried to do this, I decided that, okay, listen, it's much easier to do something like this if you're talking to somebody, right? That's what a lot of people want to do. They want to get in and they want to see people have a conversation, bounce things off of each other. So as much as I would like to do it with, say, a friend or something else, it's you have to schedule that, and what if you do this thing and it starts going and then all of a sudden someone else has a scheduling issue or you do, and then you're just adding more pieces and it just gets to be a little messy, right? So you can't really rely on that with someone outside of the house. And then I thought, oh, outside of the house? What about inside the house? I mean, not my kids, obviously, because who wants to talk to kids all day? But my husband, sure. So I decided, let's scrap the first one altogether. Let's just kill it, chop the legs off, be done. We'll start a brand new monster. We'll call it this. This is, we can talk about kids, but we can also talk about whatever, because the name was not honed in on just, this is a married couples podcast. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, we could talk about whatever. And he lives here. So he's always, always at some point in the day around. So if I do it once, twice a week, what's the big deal? Like, yeah, okay. Turns out this is not what he wanted to do at all. This isn't his thing. Like, of the little bit of free time that he has, this here is not his way to spend it. Okay, fine. All right, fine. Fair enough. So we made it like maybe 3 episodes, and he was just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, me making you do it isn't going to be anything. I mean, it could be, if you think about it, but whatever. So that was gone, done, dead, floating with the other one. Off it went. Then I just kind of dropped it, because I felt like I've already tried this twice. This is just another thing that isn't a thing for me. And eventually got to the point where I was having similar conversations with different people about the same topics, and it's just like, why can I say the same things, essentially, and people be affected by it? Like, so maybe this could be a thing for me. I just have to do it differently. So, as I've said before, and if you heard it, I'm so sorry, but here we go. We have to do it. The episode is called How It's Going So Far. So I have to tell you how it's going so far. And I will tell you that this is episode 26. This is the first day of the 6 weeks where I've sat down Monday through Friday and had an episode release every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m., both on YouTube and at simplycarifying.com, where you can listen, whatever. It's also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where we are live streaming currently, as we do with the other episodes. So it's like, this is a formula that I've put together to treat it kind of like, I don't want to say a job, because, you get paid at a job, but like an internship or whatever, where you have a schedule, you stick to that schedule, and you just do it. You don't think about what could be one day, because it's today, right? This is right now, today. And so if this is stuff that I can do, if I can sit in a room and talk to myself sometimes, if I'm just like, then why can I not turn on the camera and just do this? You know what I mean? I can write down a list of topics, go through the week, write everything out, research, all that stuff, and then sit here in this camera frame for 25 minutes. It's not hard, right? It's not hard to do. Up here, it's hard to do sometimes, especially if you don't have like the immediate payoff or like the big thing you see at the end. That's what makes it hard for a lot of people to keep going, because if they're anything like me, then they want to see that what they're doing is for something. On the flip side of this coin, I am doing this expecting absolutely nothing, just that I want to keep to a schedule and do exactly what I said I would do. And that is why I get so, in the beginning of each new episode, because it's like, holy fuck, I've actually done it. I've actually showed up. I have put in drive and delivered consistency and everything else. Not only that, now that I have a library of stuff, I am actually working to push it out even more, because I feel like if you have 1, 2, 3 episodes, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, well, somebody's starting something new, but it's like, probably not gonna last. You just don't know. You don't know the credibility. You don't know how long it's gonna last. You don't know anything about this person at that point. I feel like I have shared a lot of stories and viewpoints and things like that, where somebody can kind of get the style, the feel, and all that stuff. So if they're a drive-by and they're like, no, that's not for me. That bitch is crazy. All right, move on. There are some that are like, oh, yeah, I'm going through that. Yeah, that's pretty relatable. Let me see what else she's got. And then you actually have this whole fucking catalog to go through. That's what I want. That's what I wanted. even if what I say is complete trash or makes no sense to somebody else, it'll grab them. Even if it's just for a second. And even if it's just tiny, little relatable things that just give them like a moment of pause to just think, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted from this. So this is why it's important though. Let's go through. When progress feels stalled, the value of continuing lies more in who you are becoming than in the immediate distance covered. Okay, life rarely moves in a straight line, and these periods of nothing are often when the most significant internal shifts occur. So have you ever wanted to do something and you just feel like no matter what you do, the end is just always just out of reach? Like, you get so close sometimes and then you fucking stumble and then it's just gone. Like, it's just pushed back. Whether you've gone back 5 steps or something has made it go ahead even farther. Things like that make you want to just stop, because what's the point? You get to a spot where you're just like, what's the point? This is why it's important to keep going. Okay? For myself, I actually feel like what I'm doing is worth something, even if it's worth nothing. There are some videos that have 0 views. There are some episodes that haven't even been downloaded or whatever. I'm not breaking down over numbers. Okay? Because there are other episodes that have more. There are people who have left me comments saying, well, this is great, however, but, and kind of challenging. So those things are telling me that what I'm putting out there is actually being seen and heard by someone. Okay? Which is what I wanted. And I feel like if I only focused on the nothing, this would be another thing that's dead. But I'm not going to let this one die. I'm not going to. Because I've put too much in it at this point, honestly. I mean, it's cold in this fucking basement where I am, but I show up, goddammit, and I have for 5 weeks. Started 6 weeks now. So this is just, and I don't worry about what could be or what isn't so far. Like, I definitely don't look up people like me and compare shit like that, because that's gonna do fucking nothing but break me down. So when you keep going, when you keep pushing, when you keep doing this stuff, it rewires the brain for resilience. Fact, like, it's happening right now. The first time, I thought I had all these great ideas, these big, big things, and I already had the base and the idea, and I even had the logo and everything. So I thought, let me just take this little piece, break it off, turn it into this, and then it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep spiderwebbing into something huge. Well, not really. And then I look at the numbers, and then I start comparing, and then it's like, oh my God, I suck. And so I just break it off, because I don't want to suck. Like, this, however, now it's like, I'm doing it. I'm looking at it completely different. And the fact that I keep going, now it's just what I'm doing. So it's good. It's, the resilience thing really hits because I'm just not fazed by the numbers, by the time. Some people can look at spending 5 weeks. That's over a month, people. We're in a month and a half territory now. You go in and do anything for that long, and if you don't have something like in your hands showing you that this is worth what you've been doing, like the time you've put into it, the effort, the energy, if they don't have that physically or like right there, then that can fuck some people up. Okay? That can, like, then they get into the mental health zone of, I am wasting my time. Here comes the anxiety, the lack of control, all of the stuff. And then it's just like, oh my God, I'm worthless. I'm this, I'm that. No, not at all. You just have to go through it. If you let every single negative or nothing time break you down, I mean, are you ever going to go anywhere? Me sure as fuck not. Like, we could pull stories out of our ass for days, weeks. Okay? Another part about it, it builds grit. The long game, right? By the time something were to happen, by the time followers follow and listeners listen and watchers watch, by the time all of that goes up, I am so out of tune with the numbers and everything. It's not like my material is going to change. It's not like it's all of a sudden going to be fantastical, magical, whimsical, wonderful, all this stuff, because I'm doing everything the same. If I go into the game expecting nothing and doing my best, and yes, things have changed, fonts have changed and music and the intros and stuff like that. It's just things that you test along the way, okay? And those things will probably keep changing. Why not? But I expect nothing. And so as long as I deliver everything that I can from the get-go, then by the time possibly something comes out of it, I'm not going to turn into some fucking, oh, yeah, I'm so fabulous. No, because I've done the same fucking thing from the jump. This is me. I'm not putting on a fake persona in hopes that you fucking like me, okay? I'm not. Some people will, some people won't. That's just, that's life, okay? You're not going to hurt my feelings if you think I'm annoying and you don't like my voice. I don't like my voice either. But here we are. I'm stuck with it and here we are. Now, let's do this. I could have, and I thought about people who use like voice changers and stuff, because a voice is a big part of this, right? Like you're sitting here listening. I am like right in your ear right now, or you're watching me on a screen of who knows what size, hopefully a tiny one. But everything, every mouth sound, every word, and all the rest, that is stuff that is not something I like to think about myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't leave people voicemails because I just don't like the fact that it could be played on a loop, which seems pretty, pretty out of touch at this moment, because this shit people can listen to over and over again. And now it's not just on one person's fucking voicemail. It's all over the fucking globe, essentially. So it's like, I took that insecurity and just said, fuck you, and did it anyway. Now, I could have used a voice changer from the get-go and made my voice really high and really sweet, and I could have just, went on like this, where all my conversations just sounded completely different. However, then I have a persona to keep up the entire fucking time. Now, I will change my voice because I'll do little things like that throughout, because that's just, I do that when I fucking talk to people anyway, so it's just part of the obnoxious personality. But to do that, to dedicate to something not me, then if I put out, God forbid, a video where I'm not using a voice changer, oh my God, everyone would think I'm a fucking liar and a fraud and a fake and all this stuff. And it's like, though I wish some days where I had a squeaky little voice, I just don't, okay? And the thing about it is, you're either gonna like it or you're just not. You don't even have to like it. It's just the words that I say. Just the words that I say. So there are some things that I had to get over and like get a hold of before I ever started this. Because being on camera is another one. Oh man, how do we do this? Is this going to be a face on? Is this going to be like a newscaster where we're off to the side? Am I just going to have like an overhead situation? Are we just going to zoom in and just get one eye? Zoom in on just my mouth talking? That's horrifying. But, like, I don't particularly like sitting and being right here, main focus. Some of y'all's TVs are pretty fucking big. I don't need to be like that. You know what I mean? Like a tiny screen is okay. That's tolerable, right? Like, it's okay. But just like the thought of, all of those things, insecurities and different things where I had to make a choice. Do I want to go with something that I really want to do, something that I believe in? Or do I want to let all of these stupid fucking things just stop me? And as we know that this is the start of the 6th week, We know the answer to that. So, just saying, it also creates unexpected ripples when you keep moving forward and just keep going for what you want to go for. Because every episode, every time I come down here and turn this camera on, every time I put this microphone to my face, there's an opportunity for something. Okay? Whether that's somebody in a different country or a different state turning it on just by chance on their drive somewhere, or they're bored and they see the picture and they're like, and they just want to try. Like, every day I decide to come here and do this has an opportunity to be something for someone somewhere. And if you think about things like that, instead of just being stuck, I'm stuck in a hole, I'm not going anywhere, I'm spinning my wheels. No, you're not. That only happens if you choose to just fucking stop. If I were to shut this camera off and just sit here like this until I got 1,000 trillion billion gajillion subscribers and like 40 quazillion views, you know, and just refuse to do anything else until then yeah, I'm not gonna go fucking anywhere. And I'm not gonna get the stuff, and I'm just, it's going to be like the rest of them. It's just gonna poof, die, float away into nothingness, and that would have been my fault. But I'm happy to report that that's not going to happen. These bitch still has legs, we're still cruising, everything's good to go. So this is how it's been. I wanted to update just on how it's going so far, and we're still here. We still believe, we still show up and put everything we've got into it, and that's all you can ever do. So hopefully this reaches someone. Hopefully it does something fantastical. And on top of that, you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. And, you know, if you want to come back tomorrow for episode 27, I won't be mad at you. So, you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun junk. If you've seen the library of stuff. Because we do have an eclectic mix of messages in this library. So if you have heard them or have seen them and you know somebody where maybe something could resonate with them, go ahead and push it to them. I won't be mad at you. You know what I mean? And if you want to leave any kind of comments, be that, you know, great, good, even the snarky ones, why not? You gotta breathe too, so you might as well. Let's have it. With that, we're just going to wrap it all up for episode 26. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.